This week, we are talking about 3 ways to prevent prediabetes from becoming type 2 diabetes. So, if you've been told that you have diabetes, or if you've been told that you have prediabetes and that you need to watch your sugar and watch your weight and everything to make sure that it doesn't turn into type 2 diabetes, then I've got some tips for you to be able to do that. Um, so if you're comfortable, let me know. Like if you've been told this, if you know, if you're like aware that you do have blood sugar issues, whether it's insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, anything like that. If you're comfortable sharing that, I would love to know. And then, if you do have any specific questions about that, I would love to know that as well so we can get those answered, um, as long as you're comfortable sharing. Um, so, uh, like so many people that I end up working with, they like a lot of the people I work with have pre-diabetes or some kind of blood sugar issues. They go to their doctor and they're told, your sugar's high, or you have insulin resistance, or we need to watch your sugar. Or they're put on medicine to lower their sugar so it doesn't turn into the type 2 diabetes, stuff like that. And that's when they end up searching for someone like me and they find me, um, to help them try to prevent uh, getting full blown type 2 diabetes. Because a lot of times, they're their provider doesn't really give them any direction on that. They may say, "You lose some weight, eat better, exercise," things like that. But other than that, they really are lost on what to do. They don't know the best way to prevent getting type 2 diabetes. So that's when I start working with a lot of the clients that I work with. And and I love doing that too because I really had to learn that same thing when I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and I had to learn how to control my diabetes, control my blood sugar, lower my blood sugar to avoid going on medication. And so it just put a determination in me to really learn um, learn these things, learn techniques, and learn strategies that I could use to be able to avoid having to take medicine and becoming type 2 diabetic, because that's pretty much what my doctor told me. If you don't get control of this, it could turn into type 2 diabetes. So I did not want that. And it gave me that determination to really dive deep and learn all that I could and put what I learned into practice, into action. So that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. So if you have any kind of blood sugar issues, this live is for you today. And even if you don't, you could still, these are great ways to prevent it, to prevent any of these blood sugar issues. And if it runs in your family, if your family has a history of it, this can be great for you as well. So you don't go down the same path. So, so if that's you today, I'm going to be giving you 3 tips to help you do this. Okay. And these tips that I'm giving you are 3 proven strategies that have helped so many of my clients for years and have helped me as well. Um, they not only reverse their prediabetes, but they also have lost weight. They start sleeping better. They've improved their blood work markers. and inspired friends and family to do the same thing, to get healthy and to because they see, "Oh, what are you doing? You look great. You what have you been doing?" And so they inspire their friends and family to start paying attention to these things as well. Um, so if that sounds like something that you want, then put yes in the comments. So, if no one has ever told you that it's possible to reverse your prediabetes, I want to be the first to tell you that it's totally possible. You're not destined. Um, you're not destined to get type 2 diabetes just because it runs in your family. You're not destined to get type 2 diabetes just because you have prediabetes or insulin resistance. It is totally possible to change this, to reverse this with lifestyle habits. So blood sugar issues are really 99% a lifestyle issue. And that is great news because that means there's so much we can do to prevent and reverse blood sugar related diseases. So this is good news. But what happens is we aren't usually given the knowledge because it's just easier to put pre-diabetics on medication to manage their blood sugar, um, over educating them on how they can take steps to prevent and reverse diabetes. So it's just easier, it's quicker, it's easier to put people on a medication than to educate them on how they can reverse and prevent things. So that's usually what happens. But what I want to tell you is you have a choice because usually you're not given a choice, right? You're not asked. You're not told that, hey, you can heal this and reverse this with holistically, naturally, with lifestyle habits, or we can put you on a medication, but you have a choice. And that's what I really want I want to get that message out there because I don't think people know this. They don't know that you have a choice. Um, so if you didn't know this before, now you know. And that should feel super empowering because now you know that you have more control over your health than you thought you did, right? So let's get into my three strategies. All right, so the first way to prevent type 2 diabetes is to stay consistent with checking your blood sugar. So, if you are type 2 diabetic, pre diabetic, insulin resistant, let me know. Do you have a blood sugar monitor? And if you don't, if your doctor has diagnosed you with one of these issues, why have they not called you in a blood sugar monitor? Because that should be covered if you have insurance. Um, so even if you're not type 2 diabetic, you should be able to get a blood sugar monitor so that you can start paying attention to your blood sugar and prevent it from becoming type 2 diabetes. So that's one of my tips is if you have one of these issues, ask your doctor, call your doctor, go see your doctor and say, hey, I need a prescription for a blood sugar monitor so I can start checking my blood sugar because I don't want to get type 2 diabetes or I want to reverse it. So ask them. And if they say, well, your insurance doesn't cover it or whatever, then there's one that I recommend for people who ask. Um, I recommend it's an Avon brand, and I will leave a link to it after this live. Um, but it's one that I recommend off of Amazon, and it's like $20 and you get everything you need. So it's very affordable. You don't need anything elaborate or expensive. The one that I was given by my doctor when I had diabetes, it's really expensive. They don't even make it anymore because it was, that was over 5 years. It's like 6 years ago, and they don't even make it anymore. But when they did, like, it was super expensive, and for like all the stuff that you needed for it, like the needles and the testing strips and all that. It was just too expensive. And so I ended up just finding one on Amazon that was much better. And then I found it because I had clients and people that were asking me, or can you recommend one? Can you recommend one? So I got this one and tried it out, and it worked really good, and it was affordable and everything. And so that's just what I've been recommending ever since. So I will leave that in the comments if you're interested in that. If you can't get one for some reason from your doctor or from the pharmacy. Um, but anyway, let's talk about so you want to be checking your blood sugar consistently. If you are told you have blood sugar issues or it runs in your family, start checking your blood sugar at least like daily for a while. And then once you know how food affects you and everything, then you don't have to do it so much, right? As long as you're not like adding in new foods that you don't know how it affects you. But so so you want to use it to learn how foods affect you. That's the point of it. You want like you want to test it in the morning when you're fasting. When you first wake up, before you eat. You want to test it when before you eat a meal, and after you, like an hour after you eat a meal, and you want to see how much it's spiking between before you eat and after you eat. That is very important, and that is good data to for you to figure out, okay, is this food serving me? Is it not? Should I not eat it as much as I do? Should I eat it less often? Should I eat less of it or more of it or whatever? So so this is what a blood sugar monitor will do, a blood glucose monitor. And so the ranges are very important. A good blood sugar target for preventing type 2 diabetes is a fasting blood sugar under 100. So if you get up in the morning and you take your blood sugar and every morning it's 100 or over, that means you are in a pre-diabetic or diabetic range. So you want to work on getting it under 100 so you won't be in that range anymore. So you won't be pre-diabetic or diabetic. You want to be in that normal range. So that's what you need to be looking for in the morning when you're fasted before you've eaten. Check it and see if it's under 100. And then when you eat, you don't want to spike your blood sugar more than 30 milligrams per deciliter. So that means checking it before you start your meal, before you eat your meal, and whatever that number is, and then checking it like an hour after you eat the meal and see, does it spike more than 30 milligrams per deciliter from the before I ate to an hour after I ate? If so, then that means you need to look at what you're eating, either how much you're eating, what food you're eating. Because something is spiking you, and that's not good, because that's going to keep your blood sugar high. It's spiking it too much, and it's going to make your A1C be higher when you go to the doctor, because an A1C is an average of your last 3 months of blood sugar, right? It's an average. So if that number is high, then that means you've been spiking your blood sugar too much, right? So um, you want to check before your meal and after an hour after your meal. And if it's more than 30, if it raises more than 30 milligrams per deciliter after meals, um, then we've got to change some things, right? Um, So if your blood sugar's 90 before you eat a meal, and then you eat and you check it again an hour after you eat, it should be no more than 120 milligrams per deciliter. If it's higher than that, then you've got to play detective. You got to ask yourself, what caused this to go so high? What is causing it? What did I eat that's causing it to go too high? Or are you in a stressed state when you're eating? Are you not relaxing when you eat? Are you not managing your stress well? Are you getting the proper, are you getting movement? There's so many things that can affect it. Um, so you've got to play detective and ask yourself some questions to figure out, okay, what do I need to do differently to get it under, to keep it from spiking too high. So, um, a lot of times it's that we're eating too many carbs at one time. So we need to lower our amount of carbs. Maybe, if you're eating a half a cup of rice, you need to go to a fourth a cup of rice and see if that helps. It could be that you're eating too many carbs, or you're eating too much sugar, or like I said before, like that you're too stressed out when you're eating. It could be a lot of these things. Um, so you want to, if you're eating foods that have a high glycemic effect, then you need to look at that too, because there are some foods that give you no blood sugar spike. There's some that give you like small amounts of blood sugar spikes, and then there's some that spike it really, really high. And so, you've got to take a look at that and figure out, okay, what can I eat that isn't gonna spike my blood sugar so high, so I can prevent my prediabetes from becoming diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Um, and the foods that have the smallest effect on blood sugar are whole foods, okay? Specifically, foods with higher amounts of protein, fat, or fiber. Those are going to be better, like whole foods that have protein, fat, and fiber are going to be better for your blood sugar. They're not going to spike you as high as some packaged, processed kind of food. Um, so if you're wanting to lower your blood sugar, you want to choose foods like meat, poultry, seafood, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and beans. And these foods will keep you satisfied longer, as well as keep your blood sugar from spiking so high. So keep checking your blood sugar before and after meals, and also in the morning when you're fasted before you eat or drink anything. And if you don't have a blood glucose monitor, like I said, ask your doctor. Or if your doctor says, no, I can't prescribe you one, or it's not covered, or whatever the issue is, then I'm going to leave a link and you can go to that link that I leave and get a blood sugar monitor for around $20. Amazon is from Amazon, but the price changes. It'll go up and down a little bit, like a dollar or two. You guys know how Amazon works. But it's around $20, the one that I recommend. So let's go to the next tip, and that is to manage your stress, like I was telling you in the first tip. Chronic stress is a major cause of high blood sugar. So when you don't stay on top of your stress, that's what causes chronic stress. And when your body is in a stress state all the time, it can start to shut down certain functions, and it can start to shut down like your digestion, your hormone regulation, even your immune system. So, stress can be really detrimental to your body. It can cause health issues. It can cause so many things, it can cause things to get out of balance. And then, you end up getting sick, or you end up with a health issue because you're in chronic stress. So, we want to learn ways to manage our stress, to get ahead of our stress, so we don't get in that chronic stress, and then it cause other health issues. So, you want to choose relaxing activities at least a couple times a week, and this will help you get ahead of your stress instead of you always feeling stressed out. Um, so some great stress relievers are yoga, which is one of my favorites. Walking or looking at nature. You can walk in nature, which I love to do also. But if you don't have time for that, or you don't really like that, like you're not a real outdoorsy person, even just looking at nature can help your stress. If you sit out on your porch, or even just open the window and look out the window and get some fresh air and stuff, that can really help with your stress level. Um, and then also, like, deep breathing, taking some moments in your day to, like, really take some deep breaths and not just always shallow breathing. That can really help relax you and help with your chronic stress, or help you prevent chronic stress. Also, meditation is a great one. I know a lot of people don't really want to do that, or they're not really sure about it, but it is a great one. And there's some great 5 minute, 10-minute meditations on YouTube. They even have apps for it that you can have on your phone. So that is a great way. But really, anything that makes you feel relaxed and feel calm. So, whatever that is for you, taking a bath, or just, like painting or coloring in a coloring book, anything that relaxes you and helps you calm down, that is going to help you stay out of that chronic stressed state. And that will help you with your blood sugar, with your hormone regulation, with your immune system. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to probably help with your sleep and everything. So, um, what I usually suggest is, if you're not used to doing any of these things, if you're stressed out and you're always stressed out, and sometimes we don't know how stressed out we are, right? Until we start doing things to de-stress, we don't realize how stressed out we are. So if you don't really do any of these activities to, like, relax, then I want you to start planning when you're going to do this in your week. So put it in your calendar. Plan out at least twice a week. Plan out 5 or 10 minutes of something relaxing, and be specific. What are you going to do? Are you going to go walk in nature for 10 minutes? Are you going to go color? Are you going to do some yoga for 10 minutes? What are you going to do? Be specific and put it in your calendar, so that you don't just do it if you have time, because what will happen? You'll get busy and you won't do it. So if you really want to get ahead of your stress, and you don't want to have that chronic stress that's keeping you keeping your blood sugar up and keeping you sick, and causing other health issues, then plan some relaxing activities into your day, into your week, by using your calendar, using it on your phone, have it pop up. Hey, it's Tuesday at 10 a.m. It's time to do 10 minutes of yoga, or whatever and whenever you can do it. Put it in your day. And you can kind of build this habit around it. Like, if you want to go walk in nature, when is a good time for you to build that into your day? So is it before you start cooking dinner? Should you go take a 10-minute walk? Or is it after dinner? Like, after you eat, go take a 10-minute walk? whatever it is, is it first thing in the morning when you wake up to get you awake and feeling good? Um, whatever that is for you, like whenever is convenient for you, it doesn't matter when you do it. Just plan it in your week. And you'll start seeing the results of that. You'll start seeing, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how stressed out I was. I didn't realize I wasn't breathing. I didn't realize that I had so much stress. And and you'll start feeling better, and you'll notice if you check your blood sugar, you'll notice how it's going down. It's going down. The more you work on your stress level, your blood sugar is going to keep going down. So, that is my second tip. And my last tip for preventing type 2 diabetes and preventing prediabetes from becoming type 2 diabetes is give your body eating breaks. What do I mean by this? Do I mean fasting? No. Um, that is a way that people use, but I don't really call it that. I um I just want you to go a few hours without eating, like in between meals. Don't feel like you have to snack all the time, because every time you eat, whether you could eat, it doesn't matter what you eat, your blood sugar is going to go up a little bit every time you eat. That's normal, right? But the more that you, can y'all see my hand? The more that you have these ups and downs in your day, so the higher your blood sugar will be overall. So instead of eating like 6 meals a day, 5 or 6 meals a day, maybe you could just eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and not snack. But, eat the same amount if that's what you need, but have 4 to 6 hours in between those meals, so you can give your digestion a break, so you can, um, you know, balance your blood sugar, so it can, have a rest, um, so it can, uh, so you can get your blood sugar back down, to a good range, and not just constantly be spiking it and never getting it, back to baseline. Does that make sense, you guys? Let me know. Um, so the more often we eat, the more we have spikes in our blood sugar. And the more spikes we have in our blood sugar, the higher our A1C will be. Um, and I don't mean that you need to go all day and not eat. You just need to try to have 4 to 6 hours in between meals, and cut off eating at least 3 hours before bedtime. If you are diabetic or pre-diabetic, this is gonna have a great effect on your blood sugar. It's gonna lower your blood sugar if you can work with timing your meals 4 to 6 hours apart, and then also cutting off your eating 3 hours before bed. This gives your digestive system a break, and it gives it time to process that food you ate, and to give your digestive system a break. And doing this will dramatically improve your blood sugar throughout the day, throughout the whole day. And it'll improve your A1C, like I said, over time. When you go get it tested at the doctor, you will start noticing it's going down, it's going down. If you follow this tip, if you focus on only spiking your blood sugar 2 or 3 times a day, with eating. And but if you feel hungry all the time, or you feel like you need to snack every couple hours, um, this is an indication that you could have a nutrient deficiency, that your body's sending you hunger signals, because it's telling you, I need some more nutrition. I need some more nutrition. And it's not always the what we crave. Like, if you're craving ice cream, I don't think your body's deficient in ice cream. It's probably deficient in one of the macronutrients. And so you need to give it some whole foods, some whole healthy foods with nutrients and vitamins and minerals in it. Um, so if you feel hungry all the time and that you just have to snack all the time because you're hungry, that is an indication that you have a nutrient deficiency. So make sure you're eating enough nutrient dense whole foods like the ones we talked about earlier, to keep you full and satisfied for several hours. And we shouldn't have to think about food all day long. That is not normal to always be thinking about food, always having to eat every 2 hours, that like I said, that means there's something else going on. You are not giving your body what it needs to function properly and function optimally. So you've got to figure that out. You've got to eat more nutrient dense foods, whole foods at your meals so then you won't feel like you need to snack all the time. And then if you can do that, then if you're only spiking your blood sugar like 3 times a day instead of 6 times a day or more, some people eat more than that. Then that is going to lower your blood sugar and lower your A1C level, um, overall. Okay. Uh, so, you know, and I know that we're busy, we are all busy people and we don't want to have to think about food all day, right? So just eat larger nutrient dense meals, with the protein, healthy fats, and fiber in it. And that will keep you full for 4 to 6 hours so you won't feel the need to snack all the time. So give your body eating breaks, 4 to 6 hours in between meals and cut your eating off 3 hours before bed. And that will dramatically lower your blood sugar and your A1C levels when you go get it tested. All right. So I hope these tips helped you guys. Let me know which ones you want to start incorporating. Which one of these out of the three that I gave you? Stay consistent with checking your blood sugar, manage your stress, or give your body eating breaks, or all three. Are you going to try all three? Are you going to start with one and work up to all three? Let me know what your plan is and what sounds best to you, what you want to try. Um, and if you are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic and you want more support to reverse these issues, just put support in the comments and we can have a chat. Like if you have been trying it on your own and you really need some support and you need some advice and some accountability, put support in the comments and that we can have a chat. I will reach out to you, or we can have a DM conversation if you're more comfortable with that, um, and we can figure it out. We can get to the root of your issue and figure that out. Um, but so I hope these tips helped you, and I helped reverse my own diabetes, and so I really became a blood sugar expert, just by doing it on myself, and now I've helped so many other women and a few men, um, do the same. And like I said earlier, they've reversed their diabetes. They have lost weight. They've improved all their blood work and everything. And now they have the tools that they need to do this forever. So they don't ever have to worry about diabetes again. So, um, if you are needing that help, if you are needing that support, reach out to me, put support in the comments and let me know that you want to have a chat. But I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you next Tuesday. All right, bye.